Hi, I am Hannu Vahokoski. I want to inspire you to catch your own ingredients and make healthy, good, tasty food out of them. Sometimes it's good for camping and camping sites. Sometimes you can even make fancy candlelit dinners. Let's see what we have this time.
This is outdoors food.
Hello! Spring is coming. So is Easter and Easter dinner. I have to admit I'm kind of a traditional guy, and when you're supposed to eat lamb for Easter, that's what I do. Except not this year. Since I have a new hobby and inspiration, I want to have some venison. That's what I have in the freezer. Today is Friday morning. I want to eat on Easter Sunday, so that means I take the meat out today. I'm gonna melt it until tomorrow, then I marinate it for another day, and then it's good for Friday. For Sunday. If you want to know how I got this ham, you can check my first video called Venison Vegetable Soup and My First Deer. That tells the story how I become a hunter. And since I'm now into this kind of a wild food thing more than before, I took out some mushrooms as well, which I picked up last fall. And I'm planning to do some chanterelle soup for starters. But now I'm gonna take these both to fridge to melt. Now it's Saturday and the meat has melted. I like to wash off the extra liquids. Since it's Easter, I want to make it as lamb-like as possible and as Eastery, so that means that we need garlic. Probably 3 of these is enough. This piece here is ham, but you can also use some roast or anything else. My ham is fairly small. It's only a small calf, so it's not that big. So it's enough that we have about 15 of these.
If you saw my first video, you probably remember that I was hanging it for 10 days, and that's why it formed that sort of a thick skin for it, and that's why it looks like this.
Then you stick small holes all over here. They will function as pockets for the garlic, so you want to put them everywhere, and then you just simply stick the piece of garlic in there. Make that deep enough so they actually stay there. I said 15-20, but now that I actually counted, I think that I have like 35. So it all depends how garlicky you want to make this.
Next we need some oil. I'm going to use some olive oil because it sticks quite nicely, and then you can season it. Use thyme, rosemary, black pepper and salt. You rub it in so the flavors actually really stick into the meat.
The final touch for the marinade is red wine. I like to use Australian wine because that's very good with the lamb, and since I want to try how this lamb deer Easter food works, let's try this one. Then you put it maybe 1 deciliter in there. And now we are ready to put that in the fridge for a day. Tomorrow we'll make the actual dinner. Now it is Easter Sunday. It's going to be a festive dinner, so that's why I have my MasterChef outfit on. I got some comments that I should be cooking more outdoors. I promise you I will. My next video will for sure be something that I'm gonna cook outdoors. But now I'm doing something for the inside indoors dinner. It's about little over an hour for our dinner. So now I'm going to put the grill to heat up. Okay, the meat has been marinating now about 24 hours or so, and it's ready to be fried. The only thing that we really need is to have a brown kind of skin to it, so it's going to form sort of a, how would I say, seal to it, so it's going to keep all the juices in when I'm putting in the grill. So it's taking bigger frying pan for it. I see that now. You don't need to fry that so much. It's enough that it's a little bit brown from all over, like it is from now. All right, let's take this to the grill.
Sometimes Mother Nature just takes over. We had so big storm or wind that you couldn't hear anything what I was saying, but the point was that you're supposed to have 120 degrees Celsius or 250 degrees Fahrenheit, and then you put the meat there for an hour or so, and you have to check it with the thermometer. You're supposed to have it with 60 degrees Celsius, a little bit less, to make it perfect.
Of course, we go check every now and then how it goes. I'm gonna need some vegetable bouillon or broth for both the chanterelle soup and for couscous, so I'm gonna do that next.
The need is almost a liter, which is 1/4 gallon. I'm gonna split that about half and half for the soup and for couscous. You can probably buy that ready somewhere, but the easiest way, at least for me, is just to boil it from these ready-made cubes.
And now it's time for some minty yogurt sauce. This should be easy. We just need a fistful of fresh mint. Since the deer is on the driver's seat, I want to have this in very small pieces so it doesn't like interfere and take over this texture in your mouth. Next we need some yogurt. Natural yogurt is good. I'm going to use some Greek yogurt. We need about 4 deciliters, which is 2 cups. Roughly like this. It's not so picky. Next we put some honey in it. That's supposed to be about 2 tablespoons. I thought I had honey at home, but I didn't. So I'm gonna use some maple syrup. Let's see how that works. So it's supposed to be 2 tablespoons. Let's see if I put it like this much. Maybe it's about the same. We also put all the mint in there.
Since I was doing this with the grill, not with the oven, I needed to go and check every now and then how the meat's doing. So you want to do it properly from both sides so it doesn't get burned or anything. So you toss it and turn it every now and then. But at least at this point it looked good.
All right. Then we put lemon juice in it. So I'm just gonna squeeze it right in. Oh. I guess this is a big lemon, so I don't have to squeeze all the juice in there. And then a little bit black pepper and some salt. Then we just mix everything in. And we stick it in the fridge for about 30 minutes. I told you that I'm a lot better cooking outside than inside. So I've noticed that making this fancy dinner, it's gonna make a little bit time challenges. So I better get busy. Next, I'm gonna do the couscous. So I'm gonna chop the onion. I'm gonna fry the onion here now just lightly first. I'm using the same pan that I had with the deer. So it's going to add the flavor nicely to couscous. Now we add the vegetable bouillon. And I'm just gonna fry it a little while, or boil it a little while. We need some salt in this as well. And then it's time for couscous rice. We need 2 cups, which is 4 deciliters of couscous. That's all I have. This part is fairly easy. We just add the couscous here, like this, and then we stir it, let it boil for a few seconds, and then we let it rest for until we're ready to eat. Let's go see how the deer is doing now.
If you are doing this in the same way as I was, meaning that with everything else together, don't forget your meat. You got to make sure that it doesn't burn or overcook. So you should put the thermometer in. Don't touch the bone, otherwise you will get the wrong reading. The ideal would be to have little less than 60 degrees Celsius, which is almost 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Not yet, so we'll wait for a while.
Time is running, but we still have time in this chanterelle soup. So let's chop the onion again. I have chopped the chanterelles already before I put them in the freezer. So now they are all nicely cut in small pieces. For 3 people's appetizer, you probably need like 3 deciliters of mushrooms, chanterelles, and whatever you have. When this turns yellow, the butter I mean, or brownish, then you just put them mushrooms and onions in there. And then you stir them. And again, it's very easy to remember: salt, pepper, salt, and pepper. That's the ingredients for a very good meal. And then you need again 4 deciliters, which is 2 cups of wheat flour. Stir that in. And then you put the vegetable bouillon in. At this point, I'm going to put this in a boiling pot. It's going to make things a lot easier because it's not going to be so easy to stir. It's coming over the sides of the frying pan. We need also 4 deciliters of milk. We also need some Philadelphia cheese to go there to make it kind of a creamy and rich. And a little bit of cream. Let's put maybe half of this. And now we just stir it until it's ready. Okay, let's try it. A little bit more salt. We try it again. Yes! This smells so good. And the end result is here. Now it's ready. Looks and smells so good. All right, now it's time to enjoy the Easter dinner. This is not actually soup. I somehow got mixed up with the amounts. It's more like almost like a pudding, but nevertheless, the taste is really, really good. So I'm gonna fix the in the text of the video about how the right measurements are. Happy Easter. This turned out to be pretty darn good. The minty sauce is perfect for venison, and this garlic makes this kind of an Eastery feeling. So I really like the end result. Like I promised, my next video will be cooking something outdoors. So until next time.
This is Outdoors Food.